I want to tell you about a night that changed how I think about all of this. I just finished mopping the floors, doing the laundry, feeding the animals, packing lunches for the next day, and I was standing at the stove just trying to make dinner. My oldest was crying because he was hungry while I was actively cooking the food. My youngest was so overtired and hungry, he was just screaming, not even talking, just screaming. And I lost it. I told my son to just leave me alone, that he needed to be grateful for everything I do for him, even the clean clothes on his back. I put on a show for my youngest just so I could have 30 minutes to think one single thought. Later that night, after they were asleep, I felt terrible. I knew they couldn't help how they felt, they're kids. But the buildup of doing everything for everyone all day finally cracked me. If you've ever had a night like that, I'm not here to tell you to just breathe deeper or take a bubble bath. I'm here because I lived it. I want to show you there's another side of this. Stay with me for the next few minutes. That night wasn't really about dinner, or the crying, or the screaming. It was the 20th thing on a list of 19 other things I had already done that day, silently without anyone noticing. Mom burnout doesn't always look like breaking down on the kitchen floor, although sometimes it really does. And if that's you, I want you to know that doesn't make you a bad mom. More often, it just looks like snapping at your kid over something small, then replaying it in your head for hours after. Handing over a screen just to buy yourself 30 minutes and a single thought. Feeling resentful towards people you love most, and then feeling ashamed of that resentment. Becoming so many roles: cook, maid, teacher, chauffeur, referee, that you forget who you are underneath all of it. Here's what I want you to hear, mom to mom. None of that means you are failing. It means your nervous system had been running on empty for so long before that screaming started. You were never meant to carry a whole household silently on your own. Here's what nobody tells you about burnout. It's never really about the one moment you lose it. It's 1,000 small days of putting yourself dead last, stacked so quietly you don't even feel it building. We grow up believing a good mom sacrifices everything and never complains, so we push through exhaustion and just call it love. We skip our own meals, ignore our need for rest, tell ourselves we'll sit down later. And later never really comes, until you're standing at a stove with nothing left to give. There's a verse that stuck with me since I started paying attention to this in my own life. Matthew 11:28, where it says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." I'm still early in my faith, still learning as I go, but that verse alone shifted something for me. Rest isn't something you earn after proving you deserve it. It's offered to you simply because you're tired and you're human. Burnout isn't you failing at motherhood. It's just what happens when you keep giving and giving and giving from a well nobody else is refilling. So it actually helps. Not a spa day you can't afford, not an hour you don't have. It's noticing. Catching what's happening in your body and your day before it turns into screaming at the stove. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." And even just the be still part is something I've had to relearn, because I used to think stillness meant I was falling behind. That's exactly why I made the free burnout checklist. It's not another thing to add to your plate, it's really just the opposite. It's 5 quiet minutes to see where you actually stand, instead of guessing whether what you're feeling is normal tired, or something that needs real attention. I made it because I needed it first. On the nights like the one I just told you about, I didn't have words for what was happening. I just knew something was wrong, and I had no idea where to even start looking. If that's you right now, I made this for you. I want to be honest. One checklist won't fix everything overnight. Healing from burnout is small, repeated choices to show up for yourself over and over, even in a 5-minute sit down with yourself. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap." I hold on to that one on the hard days because it reminds me of this season of pouring out isn't forever, and it isn't wasted, even when it feels like it. That's why this checklist is just the first step. I'll be sharing a 15-minute daily reset here soon, because you don't need 2 free hours you don't have. You need 15 honest minutes that actually belong to you. You are allowed to take up space in your own life again, not just as the one holding everything else together. If any of this felt like I was reading your diary, I probably was, because some version of that night at the stove has happened to me more than once, and I'm guessing that it has happened to you too. The free Mom Burnout checklist is linked in the description and pinned below. It takes just 5 minutes, and it might be the most honest look you've taken at yourself in a very long time. If this felt like home, hit subscribe. I'm making more of these every single week for moms who are tired of pretending that they are fine. You are not alone in this. There really is another side, and I will see you in the next one.